And I do believe that we have rotten politics, and I'm not using that as an exaggeration.
Hey everyone and welcome. Is this the end for the Ukraine? Is this the end for NATO? Here's Claire Daly, MEP, destroying the narrative to NATO's faces. This was epic. Have a listen to this, everyone.
And on the subject of Ukraine, is it not the case that your rhetoric and reality are going in opposite directions and the world is beginning to notice? Because you said that Ukraine is gradually gaining ground. That's not true. Since you were here the last time, Ukraine has lost territory. 500,000 men are dead. Ukraine has had to resort to conscription. There's reports of signing people up with disability, with mental illness, men paying money to get out of the country, hiding in their houses. We're now in a bloody war of attrition, and it's simply cruel for it to go on. Now, senior US military personnel are even getting into the pages of the Washington Post and so on, echoing the call made by General Milley last November that there should be peace and a real peace. If you care about Ukraine, what's your attitude for a peace plan to save Ukrainian lives?
Well, I think we have to remember that no one ever said that this was going to be easy, the offensive. It was clearly stated that this was going to be a bloody, difficult and hard offensive.
You hear that? 500,000 Ukrainian fighters have been killed, and still they're pushing for more. And on top of that, his excuse was, we knew it wasn't going to be easy. So he doesn't care that 500,000 Ukrainians have died. He doesn't care in the slightest, and that's just the fighters. What was the line that they said? They'll fight Russia to the last Ukrainian. Seems they still don't care, even though that seems to be happening. Now, it seems to be happening so much that Zelensky has even come out now and is issuing and suing for peace. Yes, you heard that right. So obviously what she said in regards to Ukraine losing badly, NATO losing badly, because let's be honest, NATO have been pumping all sorts into the Ukraine and they're still losing. We are losing. Let's have a look at the rest, shall we? Zelensky said in an interview with independent Russian journalists, any such deal for peace would have to be put to a referendum in Ukraine. The news comes as the negotiations between the two countries are set to resume this week in Turkey. Security guarantees, he said, and neutrality, non-nuclear status of our state. We are ready to go for it. This is the most important point, Mr. Zelensky said in a 90-minute phone video call. Neutrality, if you didn't know, means a country does not ally itself militarily with anyone else. So Zelensky has said that any potential agreement would require a face-to-face meeting with President Putin, and that effective security guarantees that Ukraine would not come under attack were essential. You mean guarantees a bit like the Minsk agreements, Zelensky? You know, 1 and 2. The ones that were just agreed to give NATO a little bit more time. Do you think Russia are going to listen and want to give security guarantees when you backtracked on all of yours? Does anyone think that's going to happen? The Ukrainian leader, speaking in Russian throughout, added that, it's funny that, considering he's banned the use of Russia in his country, added that Russia's invasion had caused the destruction of Russian-speaking cities in Ukraine. It's got nothing to do with him, though. It's nothing to do with him whatsoever, that. It's all Russia's fault. Later in an overnight video address to his nation, Mr. Zelensky said, Ukraine sought peace without delay. Now, would that be happening if they weren't getting their backsides handed to them? Everyone, knowing that the entire West is behind him? Of course they wouldn't. So Claire was 100% correct, and now it looks like the war between Ukraine and Russia is coming to an end. But we'll see. Well, let's see what happens. I'm sure America won't be happy and NATO won't be happy that Zelensky's issuing for peace now. I'm sure that will change very, very quickly, but we'll see. Stay sane. I'll see you on the next one.